mnanihype kwa nyumba. I hope mnanihype nikifanya hii intro.
Unaweza kuwa kierere, you can be sassy, and you can still be saved. You know that line in Lacrae's song that says, yeah, you know, I'm ratchet, but I'm really saved.
I wanted to share my joy, I wanted to share my faith, I wanted to share the things I love.
A small discussion I had with a friend, it can be something I read on I don't read newspapers, I was about to lie.
That's my preparation period, my pre-poo. Pre-poo ni anywele. What?
So, being a Christian YouTuber also comes with its challenges. And the challenges, man, I do not want to say the challenges like like they cover up the highlights, but the challenges, man. The first thing I experience as a challenge as a Christian YouTuber is, as a Christian or as a believer, you get the constant urge to tell people what to do. And you see, when you tell people what to do, people get the notion that you are perfect, or you're trying to portray yourself being better than them. And this is not the case. And this is something personally on my channel, I try a lot not to tell people what to do. I tell people what I do. Then you pick if you're going to do it too, or Jesus speaks to you if he's going to tell you do the same or do better or do like this. That's why my tagline on Instagram is influencing you to think for yourself.
So for the challenges, for me, it's, as I said earlier in the pre-production process, I normally create best. I normally have things imparted in my heart when I'm at a good place with God. Whenever I'm going through my rough times, it becomes so difficult, because one thing is that this is ministry. And so then when I'm at a bad place, sometimes I feel like I don't have the authority to just come on here and speak. But one thing that I have been learning, and that's why I did my video of why I wanted to quit YouTube and social media generally, is that in those moments God has given me the grace to even speak about it, because most of the times it's so hard to be vulnerable. It's so hard to say you're going through a rough patch and you have been the person advocating, for a good relationship with God, and you're not at a good place, so you feel like it's counterproductive.
Well, for one, I can't have sit downs if I've not been in the word for a while. So if you notice just a series of vlogs, that's really a time when I wasn't very consistent in my word and whatnot. So I don't force content. If I don't have a word, I don't record a word. So two things when you see me not posting my sit downs: either I haven't been in the word for a while, or I just don't have anything to say. I don't have anything new to say. But what I realized with the gospel is you can just be repetitive, and that's fine, because it's the same. Like, the truth never changes. It's not this today and that tomorrow. It is this, so you can say it. I realize I can say it so many times, but have different references to what I speak about, like what I speak on my channel.
When I first began my channel, I had an issue. When I was not at a good place with God, I would not do a video. Sometimes I would even go for a whole month, sometimes even 2 months, because I just felt like I was probably asking God to do something for me, and he didn't do it, or I was in waiting, and so I was mad, and so I didn't do it. Yani nilikuwa nadhani if I don't do it ni sawa, yani hakuna mtu mwingine anaweza fanya. Stupid. Anyway, so, and then there were those days when I was not consistent in reading the word or in prayer, and I felt like if I would tell people and tell people what God is doing, or talk about the Bible and prayer, and I'm not doing it, I'd be pretending. But then I have grown to a certain level where God has taught me that I am just a vessel, and how he moves is not pinned on the things I do in my life. Like, if God wants to save someone through me, I'm the one who's supposed to go and speak to this person and tell them about Jesus. Hata kama sijaomba for 3 days, it's not going to hold God from working, like, the power of God and his working cannot be limited in my actions and my works. And that is something that I have learned over this period, to just obey like to obey when God says do a video about this, and I'll be like, God, I do not know what to do about this, can you like direct me and give me what to say, then I will go and say it, rather than me do that video about the Bible. I haven't been reading the Bible, you pick someone else, you know. So I have actually grown to that place where I just want to be real with God and tell him what is going on and what I'm going through, but at the same time to be obedient enough to do as he commands, without looking at how perfect or imperfect I am, because my perfection cannot limit the movement of God in the lives of people. And with that mentality, I realized that sometimes I do a video, even when I'm in a good place with God, I will do a video, and while I'm editing this video or I'm rewatching this video, as I am watching this video, it just ministers to me. And there are times when I have even posted on my Insta stories, when I go back to the videos I have done even 2 years ago, and I listen to me speak, and I'm like, yo, that cannot be me. Like, it even ministers to me. So in such situations, I ask myself, what if I limited God to working? You see, like, God used me to speak to me. So I was preaching to myself also when I was doing that video. So this has been a learning process, and it's still a learning process to just be obedient, more obedient than looking at how perfect or imperfect I am.
Those students don't really get, like, my when I'm doing now the spiritual content, those ones don't get so many views. But my consolation is the fact that, you know, God has planned everything. So if 5 people have watched it, then that means those 5 people are the people who needed that word at that time. My other consolation is that my YouTube channel will always be there, unless I just get a really bad strike and they just decide to strike out my content and my whole channel. But it will be there for years to come. And so if the person who needed the message hasn't watched it today, they'll watch it another day. Yeah. So yeah, the same way when sometimes I'm looking for certain something in my life, like a topic or advice on a certain topic, and then I go on YouTube and find a video that was 7 years old, 9 years old, you know, like it's really old, and I'm like, yeah, probably it didn't start out with so many views, maybe not, but the same way I just think of that, now I apply it to my content.
DM'd me, and she told me about a video I had put up last year about minding, you know, your language, and she went on and on about what she was going through and so on. And in my mind, as I was reading that message, and especially because I've told you guys I was going through it, it really humbled me that you know, the way the Bible talks about how he leaves the 99 to go for the one. I was so fixated on the 99 that it made me forget about the one that was able to hear God's word, and her life, really, she gave her life to Christ, and I hadn't even done an altar call. It wasn't for me. I was just sharing what's in my heart. I was just talking about what you say, you need to mind what you say, da 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 da, you know. And I think that really humbled me. And there have been very, very pronounced instances of the same, where just randomly somebody would reach out and just share, and I was like, wow, this thing is a bit bigger than I am, a lot bigger than I am. And it humbled me to realize that even with my 100 subscribers, even with my 500 subscribers, there's still somebody who needed what I wanted to say, because God laid it in my heart to say it. And so it's been such a, you know, rewarding experience. I feel like everybody goes through the challenge of numbers, because we are looking at things and we're like, Yani, I would go to spend 8 hours working on this thing, and then I get 12 views, you know. But I think the greatest encouragement has been, imagine one of those 12 people needed to hear what you had to say. One of those 12 people. An attitude change had to happen in me, where I changed my target audience from trying to reach, you know, people. Like for me, for example, my analytics tell me that I reach people between the ages of 25 and 34. That's the, anyway, and I'm within that age bracket. So those are the people who reach me, and I would rack my brain on how can I make the content all encompassing for all these people who are watching my videos and so on and so forth. But I needed to change my target audience from them to an audience of one, which is Jesus. And so it's something tough to do, because every now and then you look at the numbers and you want to cry. But it has really encouraged me to know that I have someone on my team constantly.
The other thing is, as a Christian YouTuber, you realize that our content does not get the viewership that it probably deserves. Because I am a Christian YouTuber. I believe and I know that my content is great, the editing is nice, the lighting is nice, and even though editing and the lighting could not be nice, like the content itself is nice. I have seen other Christian YouTubers who are partnering to do this video, having great content, but you realize that the viewership is not as good as other people, and people will be so fast to go and view, oh, so and so is dating so and so, oh, so and so has been discovered to be dating this politician. Like, people are so fast kwenda kuona udaku, but kusikia kitu yenye itamjenga si rahisi sana. It's sad for us because of course we want to grow, we want to have the views, we want to have those things, but then people are not really interested in this. So you find that most Christian YouTubers will have to do a mix of things, or even clout chase, so that they just get the viewership that people have. That's a challenge, and if as a Christian YouTuber, if you do not stick to your purpose, it's so easy for you to just deviate and start clout chasing for the sake of numbers, you know. Yeah,
I would say it's a challenge to know how to package the information. Yani, sticking it to the word, being relevant bado, but at the same time not being too relevant that you water down the word of God, that you water down what, you know, the gospel stands for. And for me, that has been a tricky balance for me, even, you know, vis-a-vis looking even at analytics. Because trust you me, like when I look at, you know, my analytics, when I have done a video, for example, you know, like a travel video, it does maybe a bit more than when I am just here and saying how to know that, you know, how to know the voice of God, how to hear the voice of God. And so then it has been a tricky balance.
Another challenge we will get is, for example, I do lifestyle videos and I also do faith-based videos where we just sit down and we talk about the Bible and the things and the plans and the things that Jesus has for us. But if you check the analytics, you will find that most of the vlogs, yani zile just normal day lives, they're still interesting. I'm not saying don't watch them, but you will find that only those ones get the much viewership than this one. For example, if you look at my channel, the video that has most views is around 5k views, and that's my Rurasho traditional wedding video. But then there's a video I have done of how to discern a good church. That video does not even have 100 views. It breaks my heart.
And one thing that I have to say is that analytics are important. Like, you can't just say, you know, when I was starting my Christian YouTubing, whatever, this whole thing at whatever, when I was starting Christian, you know, my Christian YouTube channel, most of the advice that I saw online was like, don't check the numbers and all that. And I understand that, don't be so much fixated on that, don't idolize that, but it is important to look at the analytics to see what is working and what's not working. Sometimes what is working, you can actually use it for your benefit and still spread the gospel through that way. The other challenge will be standards. Once you're here on this space, then there's a hype you put at a higher pedestal. Like, people see you and they feel like you know everything. They feel like you are perfect. it just comes out even in conversations. It comes out with how people, talk to you, the kind of questions people ask you. And one thing that I've been intentional about in the recent past, it's to be more authentic and real in my channel, to just show people I am not just a person, an angel who's dropped from heaven, anacommit, anakuja na create content, anashare alafu anarudi. No, it's not like that. I'm actually a person, a human being who is born again, who has submitted to the lordship of God, but who still struggles because she's human, but she sticks on God. She relies on God for strength, and sometimes she fails, sometimes she conquers.
The other challenge of being a Christian YouTuber is the fact that you are seen perfect. It kind of overrides your personality. So when you do a video and you laugh out loud, or you say something, or you do something, you get those people who will criticize you, and they'll be like, hey, mtu ameokoka pia anaweza cheka hivyo, mtu ameokoka pia anaweza sema hivyo, sijui mtu mwenye amefanya. So it kind of, it puts you in a box. It ties you down to try and tone down a few things, but that's not really the case. So if you are a Christian YouTuber aspiring to be one, or a believer, God does not override your personality. He uses it.
And the other thing has been comparison, which is something that I'm working through. I used to compare a lot when I started off. Even I think late last year, I used to compare a lot. Like, I would even compare in terms of views. I'm like, this subscriber count, even if you have like 10k subscribers, this, so na calculate, nafanya hiyo, inaitwaje, ziko zinaitwaje kwa hesabu, busy proportions. Like for example, when you say 10k subscribers are getting 1,000 views, what about this proportionality? Like, I will do that in my initial years. I will do that. And comparison and comparing your content, comparing your growth. For me, I have compared my growth. But nowadays, I thank God for God's grace. Like, in the recent past, that has not been something, like, it's so heavy on me. Like, I look at people and I'm like, this person is like, so what is she doing different? What is he doing different? What are they doing differently? And then I learn. And then I have learned to appreciate my own process, my journey, embracing my channel, like, in a very beautiful way. And I'm so grateful to God.
What I wish I knew before I started is how hard it is, how time consuming it is, how I need to go in full throttle, and how, because I have decided to be a faith-based content creator, there's a weight that comes with that, because there's a responsibility. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think I would do anything different. I would just come out a bit more stronger. I'm slowly learning how to anticipate things and to plan myself so that I can be ready for when the brook runs dry. And yeah, so I feel like those are some of the things I wish I knew before I started. Yeah.
So the things I really look at and I'm like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? So my best friend told me this thing when I was starting my like now the Christian content. I told him I don't want to put a soundtrack because I want it to be a serious thing. There's a certain way I'm supposed to present these videos, to look serious and all holy and whatnot. My best friend told me, no, they won't lose meaning. Like, in short, I'm just telling you, just put your personality into it, because people came to you for your personality. So if you're going to change altogether because you're sharing Christian content, it's gonna be weird. I didn't listen to him at first, of course, because if you notice, you can check out now, like the first time I started speaking about reservation, there was no soundtrack. And a couple of videos later, no soundtrack, because I thought I need to present myself in a very serious way. That misconception that we have about serious religious people. Yeah, so that's the only thing I think I should have done differently. Otherwise, like, the only thing I think I should have done differently is maintain my personality. You see the way I am right now? This is how I speak now normally on my videos. I never used to do that. I used to like sit down, cut myself, drink, gather all zen. I say, so today I come to you, I want to talk to you about... No, Okay, I don't think I did that, but I just feel like the personality I started with was not my personality, which beats the purpose. Like, God knew He wanted to create me there in a certain way. Why would I downplay that when I'm sharing His gospel? Like, yo. So yes, it's the only thing. I don't have regrets, and yeah, no regrets ever. Maybe later, but no.
What do I regret or I wish I knew starting out as a Christian YouTuber? Thankfully, I don't really regret this, but I wish that I knew or I did this before. I wish I was more aggressive starting out as a Christian YouTuber. I just figured out, God, I'm doing this for you. If you want people to view my channel, just drive them to my channel. You recommend my channel to them, then they will come and watch. But now, growing up and being on YouTube for 3 years, I realized that, oh, the kingdom of God suffereth violence, and those who take it by force. Is that right? And now I realize that I can do videos, I can make them better, I can sponsor videos, I can pay for Edgar Obare to sponsor my video like a business, so that people out there can know. If people are raising money to go for missions to the ends of the world, and they are getting all equipment and everything possible to just go there, why would I just sit here and just chill and just post a video and be silent about it? I will make noise about it. I will bag people who follow me. I will bag those who don't follow me by sponsorship, so that they get to know Jesus through me. So this is one of those things that I regret not doing earlier, but I know better now, and that is why you're going to subscribe to Christ Affection and you're going to hit that notification bell, so that you know each time I post a video.
What I wish I did differently, in June, July, August of 2018, I was researching, seeing other YouTube channels. I was not a heavy consumer of YouTube prior to that, surprisingly enough. So that's when I knew vloggers, I knew people do this and all that. And in the midst of that, I found advice that one way to grow is doing collaborations. I'm actually doing a collaboration right now, but there's a twist to it. So when I saw collaborations, then what I would do, if I hear any not Christian, but any Kenyan content creator speak about God, speak about anything related to that, I would check their email them and tell them I want to do a video with you. Now, that is something I wouldn't have done, because one thing that I have learned with collaborations, they have to come organically. And also, you can't collaborate with someone who you're not in the same niche with. So someone is a lifestyle creator. I'm a Christian content creator. I want to collaborate with them. And I had one ask me, what video idea do you have? And I had to scratch my head. I wasn't seeing the nexus. And then I told them some weird, and then they just liked my message, and that was it. And right now I understand. This is the time I would send like 20 emails saying let's collaborate. But it came from a point of, I want to collaborate with this person. If this person has 10k followers, if I actually collaborate with that person, I will maybe get more followers and all that. So the intention wasn't right in the first place. And so right now I am very intentional to collaborate with people who we are kind of in the same mission with. And then at the end of the day, when we come together, it comes out at something big that can actually impact other people. So if it's not doing that, it's okay. And one thing that I learned, even with collaborations, yes, they may give you numbers, but that's not like 100%. What will, with time, like growth inakujanga, with time, growth will come. Just keep doing content, growth will come. And related to that, I learned that not everyone is for you. Imagine, not everyone is for you. Sometimes you want to force your relatives, kila mtu subscribe and everything. Nowadays I don't. Even telling people you need to subscribe, we just subscribe. I don't get angry, because not everyone will be for you. God will bring people your way for you. He will bring an audience for you. So what you need to do is just to keep creating, and that is what I have learned. God will just bring an audience. So you may be there, you're very close, I think you've subscribed, you're not subscribed, ni sawa tu. It's just okay. I'm probably not for you, or you don't enjoy my content, or you don't even find time to watch my content. But God has given you that space for a specific amount, for a specific number of people, and He will bring them. He will just bring them. one thing I wish I knew better is to understand that this was ministry in the first place, because it came, when I started, it just became clouded. I started looking at analytics, started thinking about growth. The vision just wasn't so clear. And when I understand it's ministry, then that means I have to seek God more. I wish I was in a place where I was dedicating time to just pray over my channel, to just pray over my content, just be intentional about the content I'm releasing and my personal walk with God.
My vision for my channel, honestly, and I don't know if God will be disappointed with me with this answer. I just want to spread the word, and I want to spread Jesus' love. Like, that's my main message. So, if anything, I just pray that we can be like better Christians in how we handle people who are not in the faith and people who are in the faith. So I think it's not, I think we just, I don't know, man. Like, my vision is just, in the long run, if this love message is preached well enough and long enough, then we will see a change in how Christianity is perceived.
My vision for my channel is just to have a space where people feel like God is real, God is accessible, God is for everybody. And I hope to achieve that on my YouTube channel, the Kenyan Christian YouTube space. I keep on joking that there needs to be a forum where we, now Jesus has already united us. Yeah, just where we lift each other. And I really like what's been happening. There's been a lot of lifting each other that's been happening on the YouTube space, especially for us smaller YouTubers, smaller Christian YouTubers. And I live for it. I live to see just being supportive, because there is room for Valentina, as there is for Redefined, as there is for me, and as there is for big YouTubers like Girl and the Word and all those people. And so where we lift each other, I think that's the ultimate way to rise.
What's my vision for my channel or for the Christian YouTube space? Personally, for my channel, I want my channel to be like a resource center. I want when people get born again, or they're not born again, or born again Christians, if they have questions to the Christian faith, if they want to know something, how to do something, I want them to be able to type in on YouTube how to do this and this, how to pray, how to do this and this, and they can find that my channel is a resource for them.
So my vision for my channel is diversification. Diversification in terms of, yes, it's Christian content, but it will come in different forms, shapes and forms. And I think I can say at this point, then in this year, before the year ends, then I am going to be launching something for this ministry, just another branch of besides the YouTube content. And I'm so excited for that. I want to give more resources up and beyond, talking about Bible reading. I realize someone may come to my DM and say, how do I read the Bible? How do I do this? Having resources for that and creating resources for that. It may take a lot of time and energy, but I'm praying to God for grace. So that's the vision that I have, and more growth and more impact. More growth, more impact. In the Kenyan space, I have a vision where we will be many, and we'll have a voice in the influencer space. We will have a voice in the, in the YouTube space. It won't be like, any Christian content, so small creators, but we will become big creators. That is my prayer for me. First of all, for the 3 ladies who are joining me here, and more people who will come on board in this Kenyan Christian YouTubing space.
And by extension, if Christian content can just be there for people, like if they want to know something, they can search something up on YouTube and find us, and they get to learn, and they get to be empowered and to be transformed through this content that we are putting out there.
So my name, and the name that is on all my platforms, is Esther Kazungu, except TikTok. That's Kazungu Esther. So please do follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I'm not so active on Facebook though, but you can just still like my Facebook fan page, and Twitter and YouTube. Yeah, so I can't wait to see y'all.
You can find me on all social media platforms. On YouTube, my name is Wai.Therero. On Instagram, Wai.Therero Kimani. Twitter, Wai.Therero Kimani. Facebook, Wai.Therero Kimani. Snapchat, TikTok. Yeah, TikTok, Wai.Therero Kimani as well. I've done one TikTok, but feel free to meet me there. Subscribe, subscribe to this channel, to redefine gospel as well.
So this has been Valentine, or Valentina the writer on Instagram, from Christ Affection. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for following our content. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel, and make sure you also subscribe to my channel, which is Christ Affection, and hit that notification bell so that you know every time we put out content that can be impactful and entertaining at the same time to you. Thank you so much for spending your time and watching this video. We love you, and see you in our next video.
Kwa hayo machache yaliyo na wingi, nice time.